Hey everyone, welcome to the show. So, a Trump voter is suing the government for being detained at the border. Before I jump into these details, though, please do me a huge favor. Click the subscribe button below this video. Really helps with the YouTube algorithm. It brings more attention to these stories. So, here's the deal. Here's how this Trump supporter entered the find out phase. I believe his name is pronounced Bachir Atallah. He is a U.S. citizen, and he and his wife were detained at the Canadian border as they were trying to return from a visit in Canada. They were there visiting family for the Easter holiday. And he said he was surrounded by five agents. They all had their hands on their guns. Like at one point, he even had to tell them, like, okay, keep your hands off of your guns. You're making me nervous. And Atala apparently had a medical emergency because of this, because of the stress. So take a look at what he had to say.
He just reached for his gun. He's like, step out of the vehicle right now. I said, okay, I'm stepping out.
Bachir Atallah recounts the moments he says U.S. Customs and Border agents detained him and his wife for several hours Sunday night.
For no reason. And even if there was any reason that I don't know about, they didn't even share that reason with me. I was detained. I was not free to leave. Holding signs, no shoes, no jacket. It was freezing cold.
The real estate attorney says the officers wouldn't let him call his sister, an immigration attorney. She tells us she didn't get a call until 3 hours later.
What happened to my brother is not reasonable. It's an abuse of power. What message are we sending to people who are legally in this country?
I really felt like a criminal.
So that was just a portion of an interview that he did with one news outlet. And then he also told a news outlet, quote, "They handcuffed me. They twisted my arm, my wrist. They walked me inside, and I was looking at my wife in the car. It was like a shock for me." And Atala is a real estate attorney, and he claims that the Border Patrol agents forced him to open up his phone and show them his emails. So that is a direct violation of his attorney-client privilege. And Atala said, quote, "So I had to, under duress, give him permission to look through my email, through my privileged information. And he made me write a statement signed by me saying that I gave him permission to look through the email." So during this incident, Atala starts having chest pains, and he tells the agents, I'm not feeling well. My chest is hurting. I have high blood pressure. So they did offer to take him to the hospital, but Atala said, I didn't want to have to start this whole process all over again, because he said they would take me to the hospital and stand there and wait, and then we'd have to go back and we start from scratch. And so he declined to go to the hospital. Well, Trump's Gestapo is now claiming, oh, he's just dramatizing the whole situation. Nothing serious happened. But this is actually documented. Like, they have documentation showing that he was saying his chest was hurting, that he was not feeling well. And Atala's sister told the main Republic news outlet, quote, "I deal with many cases as an immigration attorney and as a person who actually represented Americans unlawfully detained or held hostage in extreme authoritarian regimes, usually. And I know how these governments treat our Americans, but I never expected that our own government would treat our own citizens the same way they treated my brother." So Atala is suing. He's suing the government, not just because, they almost caused him to have a stroke or a heart attack, but for holding him for more than 5 hours and without any cause. They never gave him an excuse to this day. And he said he hopes that his lawsuit, it will cause Trump to change, or his administration to change how they're handling immigration and border patrol matters. Now, Atala's sister, the one from the video that you saw, Celine, she admitted that her brother and his wife voted for Trump. She, however, the sister is a Democrat. And she said, quote, This is not just about my brother. This is a warning to every American. If a law abiding citizen can face this for simply coming home, then no one is safe. And Atallah told Newsweek, quote, I really thought things would change after this administration. When we have Mr. Trump in office, things would change for the better. Things actually changed to the worse. And Atallah is now terrified because he is right now in Lebanon. Apparently, he travels a lot for business as a real estate attorney. So he is in Lebanon on a business trip, and he is terrified of what's going to happen when he tries to come back into the US. He's apparently flying back in June. So here's the thing, like, he sounds like he gets it, right? I mean, it sounds like Atallah understands he made a mistake voting for Trump, even though he didn't come right out and say it in those words, but, you know, he thinks things are getting worse. And for the sake of others who are being victimized by this fascist regime, I hope his lawsuit is successful. I wish him the best. I just hope that he starts paying attention. You know, I hope that he starts to realize what Trump is doing to the people who can't stand up to him, to the people who don't have an attorney for a sister, who, you know, are an attorney themselves. You know, the children who are being ripped away from their mothers and fathers, you know, families that are being torn apart, innocent men who have been sent to a foreign dungeon, like a foreign black hole, essentially, who may never see the light of day again. You know, is Atallah aware of any of that? Did he care? Did he care before it affected him? So I hope he gives some thought to that. I hope his sister maybe schooled him a little bit. Who knows? So if I hear any more on this case, I'll definitely let you guys know. But thank you all so much for watching and listening. Please like, please share, and subscribe. Please donate if you can. Love you all. Take care. Talk with you soon.